Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we're going to talk about the internet as a whole and how it has positive and negatively affected our generation and how I think we can solve it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the internet itself. It has positively affected our generation and our world, in many, many ways. It's given us platforms like Instagram, Google, YouTube. Netflix, we could just keep going on and on. You just get endless amount of entertainment, endless amount of information. The internet has given us so much, but it also has affected us in many negative ways. You know, it's given out a lot of really false data. You go through Instagram or you go through, I don't know, Twitter, and let's say you just scroll through and you see something about some animal and it says it's going extinct. It's really not. It's just small stuff like that, but there is a lot of it. There's a lot of false information out there that a lot of people and a lot of brands, they preach and they, market just for money reasons. But there are some people who really do, you know, go out of their way and, make sure everything they do is fact checked, make sure, everything is 100% truthful. There are really good people out there, but mainly on the internet, you're going to find people who are just there for marketing and just there for money. And unfortunately, it's everywhere. It's any platform you go to, any major social media platform. You're going to find a lot of scam artists, a lot of people who are really just there for the views and follows and the content that they put out just so they can rack up a couple $100 and keep doing what they do. And, that can be a really positive and negative thing, um, as an influencer, you can be preaching something really positive. I've seen some influencers on my Instagram page. I only follow positive things. A lot of the negative stuff, unfollow. There was a lot of gore websites. Some gore websites were popping up on my Instagram and my Twitter feed. I made sure I unfollowed those. Because you don't want to stay in that stuff. I was in a, I lived in a place where, it was really destructive. There was a lot of stuff going on. I saw a lot of stuff. I don't need to keep seeing stuff on my phone after I move, you need to get that stuff out of your life. If you wonder why you keep having nightmares, you keep having bad thoughts, stuff you see on the internet, you don't censor yourself to anything. And the internet has no censor because it's a free place to publish whatever you want. But, some stuff gets taken down, but there's only, there's millions and millions and millions of posts and tweets every second, every minute, every hour. And there's only so many people or so many AI or robots that can take something down at once, So some things are going to slip through. And unfortunately, it's a lot. But it like I said, it can be a positive thing though, because let's say somebody's preaching mental health like I'm doing right now. I'm trying to preach mental health. I'm not worried about the money. I'm just trying to market, make sure I can reach every single person that I can. If I make $100, that's cool. Like I'm really, really deep down not worried about the money. I just want to be a platform that people can, go and talk to whenever they need something. If they need a little bit of advice, they can reach out to me. I'm gonna have a podcast here maybe next week about relationships and just advice, just straight advice that I have and that I've given to people, and that hopefully maybe somebody can listen to and maybe take from that, and get a little inspiration or a little, just help them get their foot through the door. Um, that's the positive side of it. There's so many people that are donating. There's so many donations, helping children across the world, helping foundations, giving to the homeless, just so many things that aren't being shined on because they're not taking out their phone and recording it. Just because somebody doesn't take out their phone and holds it up in the air while they give somebody a pizza doesn't mean they're not a good person. That doesn't mean they're not helping somebody out. They're just not that selfless. They don't care to hold up a phone and show the internet that they're doing something good. It makes them feel good to just do it. And I'm that way. I don't need to hold my phone up and show I'm giving something to somebody. I just do it. there's no reason to show the world that I'm a good person, because I know deep down that I'm a good person. I know that I'm going to help somebody out if they really need it. The internet can be a great way for that, because you can spread positivity, but you can also spread a lot of negativity. And, it can ruin people. It can start trends, it can start positive and negative trends. I remember back in the day, there was one trend about this dress. It was like, was it blue or was it black? A lot of people are going to remember that. And it was, everybody saw different colors. It was really funny. It was a cool trend. And it was really, really popular. But now we go to, 2022, almost 2023, the trends are crazy. It's like, Tide Pod Challenge, or, there was something called the Blue Whale Challenge, where it was basically like a self-harm challenge back in, Europe. It's just like, it's crazy, crazy shit that is now all over the internet. I mean, you have certain sites that you can go and buy, anything you want on, like literally anything. I mean, you have access to whatever you want. And like I said, that can be a really positive and negative thing. But also in this day of age, you're kind of held to standards. You're kind of thrown into what everybody else wants to see, or what they like. You scroll through your page, you just see a bunch of advertisements about this certain clothing brand or certain game, and it's just a bunch and a bunch and a bunch. Or this certain person that you think is so annoying, but everybody else thinks they're so funny from the cringy jokes, and you just see a bunch of it and a bunch of it. And the reason is because that's part of the algorithm. The algorithm is meant to take a lot of things that have a lot of views, a lot of followers, a lot of a lot of attention, and they put it out to the world. They put it on everything, and they incorporate that to their normal set of data. And it's kind of like anything that's popular, anything that's going with that certain day, you're guaranteed going to see it on another app the next day. So it's like whatever one major site posts, or whatever one thing posts that gets a lot of views, everything else, every other major brand or site just goes and eats off of it like leeches. They'll just go and take all the brand, take all the credit, and then they'll post it all. And it'll just get more and more attention. But the really important stuff, that doesn't get all the views, that doesn't get all the followers. Nobody talks about it. So all the important stuff now gets suppressed. It all gets suppressed, and now, it's all left to just sit there while people keep trying to talk about it. People are just, getting suppressed left and right. There's a bunch of ambassadors now that, are trying to, a lot of mental health ambassadors, or a lot of people that have been talking about politics, that have been talking about certain things about, government files, or, certain theories and stuff like that have just been massively suppressed on all platforms of the internet. Anything they post, nobody will see anything. I mean, from a podcast to a Twitter post to an Instagram post of a picture of food, whoever runs the internet, they will suppress it so the public does not see it, because they don't agree with you. And that isn't how it should be. And it's like that with literally everything. If you aren't agreed with, then you will be suppressed. You'll be called names. You'll be you'll be the odd one out. You'll be the one getting fingers pointed at you. And if you guys actually look this up, Twitter just came out recently, actually ever since Elon took over. Elon's released files that the government literally had access of Twitter, and was literally hiding certain algorithms. Like, they were hiding posts, they were restricting data. So let's say somebody made a political post, or somebody made a post about this, like space, and it was like some theory that was actually right. The government would be like, hold on, nah, we're good. We're not going to go give that to society. That's a little too much. They'll freak out. Fuck that. We're going to suppress it, throw it in the trash so nobody ever sees it. And that's actually happened. That's happened all over Twitter to thousands and thousands of people. And it's just starting to like come out. Like, if it's on every platform, there's so much information that's being withheld, and so many things that we are not in the loop of. I mean, when it comes to history, like, there's so many history people and scientists that literally are finding new things about the world, digging up new stuff, finding new fossils and everything like that. And they're taking it to historians, and nobody wants to believe them. Nobody wants to rewrite anything, nobody wants to rewrite history books. Nobody wants to reteach anything, because society is just so one-sided now. Everybody has to revolve around one person. Like, if it's your life, it's everybody's life, and that's not how it should be. We all have individual lives for a reason. We all have our own voice for a reason, so we all can come to an agreement for a reason. I don't understand why it's so hard for our society to see that nowadays. It's just so much control. The government, literally, they control everything from ads to, like I said, what you see from people. A lot of influencers. I mean, not saying they work with the government at all, but like a lot of influencers. Let's say somebody's out there posting a bunch of money. They go out and say they go out to the club one night. They got $1,000, right? $1,000. They got a nice car, and they go to a nice restaurant. There's probably about 2% of people in this whole world that actually live that lifestyle. Like, a lot of the shit you see online, it isn't real. Like, I promise you, a lot of the shit you see online, it is not real. Like, I guarantee there's some major TikTok star, or there's some major rapper that goes and rents cars. That money he takes out on cash, he goes to the bank beforehand, out of his savings, make sure he pulls it out on cash, because I guarantee you're not going to walk around with all that cash, right? So you pull it out of your bank, you make sure you go out to eat, you make sure, right? And then afterwards, you get somebody, you make sure you go to a nice spot, you sit in front of your car, you make sure you pull out the money, put it on the hood, or, put it in your pockets. Make sure you got your little chain on, take a picture. And then the next day, you're going to go put all the money back into your bank account, return the car, and you're never going to go eat at that high-end restaurant again. And there's a lot of people like that. Like, there's a lot of people that are just there for the looks. They want you to believe that they're living that life when they really aren't. And like, it's a stupid amount of people that literally do that. Like, if you need to go flex on Instagram and show everybody, or Snapchat, like, literally, if you need to show every single person what you're doing with your life 24/7, you're just begging for attention. Like, there's no reason somebody should see you. Like, there's no reason you need to be posting all the time 24/7 about anything you do, because I guarantee nobody actually cares that much. Nobody cares what you're eating. Nobody cares what you're smoking. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody cares what you're selling. Like, it doesn't matter. Just do you. And when you post that shit, you're also just giving the police, you're basically just giving them like everything. You're just like, here you go. I do this. I do that. And if you're okay with that, then keep doing it. But just know, like, a lot of these sites do get tracked. Like, a lot of this shit literally does get tracked. They have your records. They have your information. Like, they will backlog shit. They will, like, I mean, that's why you get scammed. That's why you get so many advertisements or emails and this and that from random numbers, because people have your shit. I mean, it's all over Google. You can Google anybody and their name. You can get anything. Like, the amount of stuff you can get off the internet is crazy. But nowadays, I will say, for a person that has so much to say, a phone is literally their best friend. They can sit behind a screen. They can literally say whatever they want. No repercussion at all. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're just going to sit behind a phone. They're going to tweet up a storm, and they're going to make somebody mad. They're going to make somebody feel bad about themselves. They're going to get attention. They're going to just cause havoc because they're not pleased with themselves. So they're having a bad day. That's just a negative side of the internet. It can cause so much damage so quickly, but it can also change lives in the matter of seconds. So, with that being said, just be careful what you post, be careful what you follow. I recommend, just don't scroll on your phone for hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, that isn't healthy. If you see a new trend, you don't need to follow it. And like, for females, like, you just don't need to set trends at all. Like, you don't need to follow trends, just be you. Like, I'd much rather see a girl, go into a nice ass restaurant in a hoodie with a messy bun and some makeup dripping on her eyes last night versus a girl with, a Louis bag, some like a crazy $1,000 outfit that she's only gonna wear once. If you got that much money and you just spending it on an outfit, like, you either balling or you really just care about your looks. Because if you got that much money, you should be spending it on something else. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having some outfits and looking good. But if you're really just gonna spend money on one outfit that you're gonna wear one time, I don't find any point in that. I think that's just a waste of money and a waste of time. And I'd much rather go talk to a girl that's in the sweatpants and is confident how she look and just don't care, and now is gonna go eat her dinner. Because the other girl is just gonna complain about everything. If she spills something on that one outfit, it's a problem. Versus the other girl just doesn't give a shit, just wants to have a good time and just enjoy her food. So, just be yourself at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you see on the internet. You don't need to follow everything you see. And a lot of the things you see aren't real. So don't compare yourself either. There's no need to compare yourself to somebody. If you see some jack dude in the gym that's posting quotes on TikTok every single day, that doesn't mean you got to go to the gym. Because if you're self-conscious, that could make you worse. Like, you need to sit down and think about it. If you need to work out and you want to work out, you can go on a run, you can do stuff at home. You don't have to be in front of a gym. You don't have to be in front of a bunch of people. You don't have to put yourself in that situation. There's other ways around it. Don't make excuses. Do everything you can. Make sure you're following the right things on the internet. Follow some motivational quote people, like I do. I follow quote pages every day. So if I do scroll on the internet, I just see some positivity. And if I follow an influencer, I follow somebody that doesn't post their life, like they barely post. I just follow somebody that makes music and their life is focused on the music or focused on their job and not on the internet. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you all with the quote today. This is another quote by 365 Mentality. You can follow them on Instagram. But this quote is, privacy is power. What people don't know, they can't ruin. And I thought that quote was perfect today, talking about the internet. So, privacy really is power. If you don't put your life out there, nobody can ruin it. If you don't put your business out there, nobody can ruin it. If you don't put your ideas out there, nobody can steal it. But yours is yours, keep it like that. If you want to share things, share them after you completed them. Share them after you did it. Like it says right here, what people don't know, they can't ruin. With all that being said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You guys were listening to the Dialed In Podcast.